The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And for me, starting out as a freelancer, there was no way I could see where I am now from when I was getting started. Okay. In fact, literally, I didn't know that I was just beginning my freelance journey now over 30 years ago. But that first project taught me a ton and gave me a glimpse of the path that I was about to follow. All right, sound interesting to you? Then I want you to stick around because I'm going to share the details and some important lessons that I learned during that first freelance design project that I accepted. Guys, hey there, it's Matt Casner with Freelance on Fire, where I teach designers how to launch and scale a freelance business, find great clients, and take control of their income potential by setting up a solid business foundation. Now, guys, when I started my freelance career, I certainly didn't know that I was going to be a freelancer. All I knew was that I was a high school kid and I loved art. Okay, I was an art nerd. I was always in art classes, always doing artistic projects, and it was just me. And I loved that skill and talent. My mom fostered it as a young child in me, and it was just something that continued to grow even as I was becoming a high school student. But you can tell that the things that we love in life can ultimately become things that we use to invest into our futures. And art was one of those things. But as a high school junior, I didn't quite know how it was going to play out. See, when I was a high school junior, I didn't know there were careers in graphic design. All I knew was I liked art. I was planning to go into broadcasting, maybe do something in radio and TV, and hadn't really thought about art too much because honestly, I didn't know that it would be something I could make money at. But here's how it all started. I was a junior in high school and was going with a group of friends to an out-of-state conference in Ohio. Several of us were traveling together, and we were having this conference on the campus of a college. Well, during the course of this conference this week, one of my adult sponsors was having a conversation with one of the administrators who was in charge of alumni relations. During a conversation that they had while we were at this conference, the administrator shared with my sponsor that they were working on a project for an alumni relations publication, and they were looking for an illustrator who could provide an illustration for one of the articles. Well, I was an art nerd, and the people that knew me knew that I loved art and that I had some skill in that area. So my adult sponsor friend happened to mention that I was on the trip with them and that I had some illustration skills. Well, by the end of the week, I was visiting with this administrator, and they were sharing with me what they really needed in terms of an illustration for their publication. Now, I had never done anything for pay before, but it sounded very intriguing to me. And because I had been working, in doing art in school, I felt like I had the skills to be able to produce the type of work that they were looking for. So I said yes. And I went back home. And within a week or so, I had produced the illustration for them. Now, granted, there were no digital input devices, no iPads. I didn't have a computer. So basically, this was me and a sketch pad. And I took the sketch that I had created, I mailed it to the administrator in Ohio, and then a couple of weeks later, received a check for $50. Now, the drawing took me about 2 hours to complete. So for a high school junior, getting paid $25 an hour back in 1990 wasn't too bad. And so that was how I got started, and that was my first freelance design project. But guys, let me just share. I didn't realize that this was actually starting for me a journey now that has lasted almost 30 years. In fact, 2021 is actually going to be my 30 years as a freelance designer. Started way back in high school. But I want to take you through some of the high points and tell you some of the things that I learned from that first freelance project way back when I was a junior in high school. Okay. The first thing I want to share with you is the need for preparation. Okay. Whatever it is that you feel like you want to enter the workforce as a freelancer, you need to have a skill or a service to be able to provide. And you really need to have that determined before you enter the marketplace. Now, you don't have to be a master at it, but you at least have to be proficient at it. As I mentioned, I was an art nerd, so I was getting lots of practice in my art classes. But that wasn't just all of it. I was volunteering for different art-related projects. Of course, you get friends and family that are asking you for favors to do this or that. So I was always taking opportunities to grow my skill set. Okay. So one of the things that I have learned as I become a freelancer is that success really happens when preparation meets opportunity. So once you are prepared and once you have some skills in place, when the opportunity comes, then you'll be ready to take action. So stay prepared and get prepared. Okay. Number 2, you need to share your skill. Because I was just a student, I really wasn't marketing myself per se, but a lot of people knew me. And I kind of had developed a reputation as becoming the art guy. And I'm the guy who's always in art class. I'm the one doing the projects and working on the murals for the class competitions and things like that. So I kind of developed a little bit of a reputation for being the creative guy. Okay. So that when we go to this conference and my adult sponsor friend is having a chat with someone that I did not know, they knew me and they knew what skills I had and were happy to pass my name along as a referral to this college administrator who then contacted me about an opportunity. All right. So when you're doing the things that you do, make sure you let people know. Start a social page. Share your work with friends and family. Let everybody know what you're doing so that when your friends and family have conversations with someone who needs the skills that you have, there's an opportunity for you to have a conversation with them. Okay. Step number 3 is be ready for the opportunity. Okay. When the opportunity comes, it may seem scary. You may have hesitation, and that's okay. When I was presented with the first job that illustration job when I was a junior, I was a little scared. This is the first time that anybody had ever paid me to do a job. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to let anybody down, but I also didn't want to make a mess of it and, to have a bad experience. But there was something exciting about having an opportunity and having some confidence that I could get the job done. Now, not 100% confident because this is my first rodeo, but I was confident enough to say, yeah, I'll give it a try. And guess what? We figured it out. Okay. So when you get an opportunity, don't be afraid. Say yes and figure it out. A lot of times I've learned as a freelancer that you learn a lot by doing. Okay. Now you need to have some essential skills in place that can get you off the starting block. But so much in what you do as a business owner is learning as you go. You're going to be learning new skills, learning new techniques, learning how to do things in new and different and better ways than you did before. And so this was an excellent opportunity for me to get some experience doing some things that I love, like drawing, and doing it for a customer who needs my skills. Okay. So don't be afraid to say yes when the opportunity comes your way. Okay. Number 4, do your very best and your word will get out there. Okay. When you are practicing and when you are doing your work, whether you're doing it as volunteer, whether you're doing it for pay, people will notice. And if you're doing an excellent job, if you're providing your clients with excellent service, then your name will get communicated out. Okay. I can tell you that over the past 30 years of being a freelancer, referrals have been my number 1 way of getting new work. Okay. So don't be afraid to let people know so that they can share your name with other people. And then when you get clients, do your very best to serve them the best that you know how so that they will know and they can communicate that with others that need similar services. Okay. All right. Last thing I want to share with you is stick with it. Guys, my freelance journey started 30 years ago. All right. I didn't know back then what I would be doing today, but I will tell you this. It's been a journey. And it's been a journey of one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 year at a time. All right. There's been growth that has happened throughout all of this. And I tell my freelance students in Ignite that, guys, it's a marathon and not a sprint. And that the way you become successful is to be consistent day after day, year after year. All right. I want you to know, I believe wholeheartedly that I'm able to survive and thrive as a freelancer because I've become comfortable with the skill set that I have and the ability to serve clients. And I believe all of us are created with a unique purpose. And when you're able to find that purpose, then the longevity comes naturally, because what I've figured is that I've been given some unique skills, talents, experiences, and passions that have become who I am. And then I'm using that to serve others. So I always challenge other people, find out what your skills, your talents, your experiences, and your passions are, and let those become fuel for you as you serve your clients. All right. So just to wrap up here, the things that I've learned from my very first freelance design project is, number one, get prepared. Okay. You need to prepare first. You need to be practicing your craft. You need to be getting good at it. All right. That's important. Number two, share your skill. Make sure that you're getting opportunities to work with others, whether you're volunteering, you're doing projects that are, related to what you're good at, and you're getting a chance to let other people see what you can do. All right. Number three, be ready to say yes when the opportunity comes to you. Don't shrink back. Take it by the horns and make it happen. Okay. Number four, do your very best and the word will spread. People will see the good work that you do and they will tell others. And number five, stick with it. Be in it for the long game. Guys, I freelanced for 15 years as a side hustle, nights and weekends. I had a 9-to-5 during that time, but I freelanced nights and weekends for 15 years before I started freelancing full time, which has been another 15 years. Okay. So I spent the first 15 years of my career as a freelancer simply getting better at it. Now, you can certainly go faster than I did. I wasn't in a big hurry, but it allowed me to learn and grow as I went. Now, if you are wanting to get started as a freelancer, or if you're a freelancer and you're wanting to grow your business, then I'm here for you. As a freelance business coach, I work with my freelance business students every week. It's called Ignite, and I help them grow their businesses by helping them get past the little daily struggles and trials that come to us as a freelancer. Guys, I've spent 30 years working my way through the process, and I'm here to help shave off some of the rough corners and edges and help you get down the road faster. In fact, I've got a free resource for you. It's the Freelance Business Blueprint, and the link's down below, freelanceonfire.com/blueprint, where I invite you to check it out, where I show you step by step how to build and scale a profitable freelance business. Guys, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you liked it, please subscribe, like, give me a comment, let me know. If you have a question, I'd love to hear that too. Guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Take care.